we will be going over more OnlyFans content. I know that's what everyone has been raving to hear about, and that's what we will continue on with this trend today. Now, if you've tuned in for the previous podcast, you will know that I have switched my company over completely to focus on OnlyFans, which has been a massive change. That is not something small and something to take lighthearted, as I had to fire teams, I've had to retrain teams, I've had to prepare templates. There has been a mass amount of change, and the reason is quite simple. With the amount of data that I have looked at, the potential or the opportunity vehicle to make immense amounts of money over the long term is incredible. Not just that, but it's an industry that will never die. The sexual industry will never die and is in fact evolving. If you don't believe so, just look at the new forms of media and the way in which the sexual industry has advanced throughout history, from times of, when it was illegal to be homosexual to it was frowned upon, with Hugh Hefner pushing out nude pin-ups in magazines, all the way up into what we have today, which is pornography available in the click of a button, okay? As we evolve into the metaverse, you just wait and see what takes place. It is really important, if you want to succeed in this industry, that you get in now and you learn the tools of the trade. You learn the jargon. You learn these things that are needed to succeed. The first topic that I want to talk to you all about today is why it is really easy to succeed in this business from a hormonal standpoint, okay? What do I mean by that? You have hormones working on your side to help you sell. When you're selling any sexual content, you have to understand it's for one reason. That person is attempting to achieve climax. 99% of the population, okay, involves in sexual activity for one main purpose: to achieve climax or orgasm, okay? Now, for a man specifically, what happens during in ejaculation? What happens during an orgasm, okay? Let's look at the hormones behind it. Well, it is easy to understand that norepinephrine is first released, as with a mixture of oxytocin, serotonin, and dopamine, okay? Now, what do all these hormones mean? Basically, when you bust a nut, you feel good. They are attempting to feel good. Now, the ejaculation period only lasts for a few seconds to a minute, let's say a minute at most. I'm sure there's some fucking weirdos out there that can extend that. However, most people are doing all this for a few seconds, okay, of enjoyment, of stress relief. And then the norepinephrine and the serotonin, the oxytocin, help to make you drowsy, sleepy as well, and relaxed, which can help to combat stress, okay? So, why is that incredible for us? Well, after someone busts a nut, time is on our side. Sooner or later, that person is going to want to bust another nut. And then sooner or later, they're going to want to bust another nut, and another nut, and another nut, and another nut, okay? And this continues on for their entire life. Now, some men with low testosterone counts, as they get older specifically, they will lose this want to bust a nut, okay? They are not really our target audience anyway. We are looking for those horny devils, which is the majority of the population that is searching for climax. We are going to assist them in that. And really, it sounds sick, but it's very easy to understand. If you want to make a lot of money, you are essentially piquing someone's curiosity and then making them pay you for them to reach orgasm. That is it. Your goal is to milk as much money along the way as humanly possible. Whether that sounds ethically correct or not, that is up to you to decide whether you want to embark upon this fine venture. Now, this concept, I talk about it non-stop in business, so it's incredible to apply this across to OnlyFans. This should be your goal. If you have never made $1 million in your life, your goal should be to first reach $1 million. If you've never made $100,000, then let's start with $100,000. But I'm going to assume that the majority of people on this planet can make $100,000, and you could do that working a 9-to-5 job anyway and just saving a portion of your income. If you want to complain like other people, fucking leave a comment down below and I will address you personally. The goal is to make $1 million. And there is an incredible concept or an incredible book that talks about this, and it's called 1,000 True Fans. I constantly hammer this into people who watch my channel. 1,000 True Fans. The concept behind this book, okay, is very, very simple, really. You just need to develop a true audience base of $1,000 people. These 1,000 people are valued at $1,000 to you. Okay, now what does that mean? Basically, if you look at your best friends and you were to ask them for $1,000, the majority of them would be able to give you $1,000 and would give you $1,000. If they were truly your best friends, they would be content with giving you $1,000. Maybe not repeatedly, maybe not again and again, but if you really needed it and you were to ask them, okay, they would give you $1,000. This, and if not, you need new friends, okay? Now, this is the whole motto behind the 1,000 True Fans. Your 1,000 true fans are going to be your best friends, in a sense. When they're valued at $1,000, 1,000 times 1,000 is $1 million. Your goal is to find the 1,000 true fans or build that audience of 1,000 people and then monetize them for $1,000. Now, how can we do this with OnlyFans? This is very, very simple. We are allowed to sell content for whatever we want. Let's make it super simple. To reach $1 million, okay, you need to sell a $1,000 package to 1,000 people. Now, on OnlyFans, the maximum we can charge for content is $100. So that means we would need to sell that to one person, a $100 package 10 times. If someone is your true fan or your horny lover, let's call them, your horny obsessor, they will be more than content to buy 10 photos from you over a year at $100. That equals $1,000. Okay? If you can figure out how to do that, you only need 1,000 people and you are a millionaire. 1,000 people. Now, this is where a lot of people will start to second guess what I say, and they say, yeah, well, 1,000 people really is quite hard. No, it's not. I can run ads that, with their reach, during their ad spend of $10,000, can reach millions of people quite easily. Okay, it is not that hard to find 1,000 true fans. It is really not. Now, don't get that confused with it will take a long time to get your 1,000 true fans, but it is not hard. The process is quite simple. You need to have a clear mission or a clear product or service that you're trying to sell. You need to find a way to find where these interested people are, and then you need to build relationships with them. That is not hard, but it is not quick. Don't get these two confused. A lot of people get these confused in business, and that is why they fail. Don't confuse hard with quick. Now, how do I plan to dominate this? Well, if you listen to my last video, you would know my exact plan coming into this business. I'm still working through the setup phase quite heavily, and I have a lot of girls interested that would like to work for me already. Now I'm actually screening these girls for girls that already have audiences that can be monetized, that will save me a significant amount of time rather than having to build from a cold audience. Even though I can cross-promote and run ads, it's going to be a lot easier for me as I have the influx of people wanting to come on board to pick and choose. And to top it off, I can pick and choose based on women, okay, that are going to be able to sell more based on the category or the stats that I have. Women that are able to shoot amateur, lesbian ranked very high in the rates as well, so lesbian content is definitely up there, okay, and is going to be very easy to sell and commoditize. Now, with my plan, let me make this very clear. I do not need to mass scale, and this is where a lot of people go wrong. They think, well, what if I could have 1,000 girls? What if I could have this? For you to manage that amount of workload, you are going to need additional skills that you probably do not have. You probably do not know how to manage teams. You probably do not know how to incentivize your customer support or the teams that are going to be replying. You do not know how to confer with issues with girls. You do not know how to deal with, cease and desists and certain legal contracts if they're broken, and they will be at scale. Once you operate anything at scale, there is always going to be a percentage of issues. The smaller the scale, okay, the less issues that you are going to have to experience. I recommend not looking at trying to get 1,000 women working for you, okay? Or if you're building your own account, do not even focus on that at all. Set the goal of, I want to build up to $1,000 a day, or I want to build 1,000 true subscribers over the space of a year, and then monetize them heavily. Now remember, $1 million from the 1,000 true fans doesn't have to be a one-off $1 million. It could be $1 million a year that you are getting paid, okay? You could monetize them the exact same every single year as long as you're providing value We talked about how to provide value at the start of this podcast. It's very simple. People are looking for a release based off what their hormones are telling them. If someone was completely asexual and didn't find anything to be sexually arousing, then they are not your target audience. You cannot provide value to them by fingering your pussy on a camera. Okay? It's not going to intrigue that person. But the majority of the population is intrigued by that, and the majority of the population is intrigued by amateurs doing that, and from a point of view, and if you're lesbian, there's a bonus, okay? And if you're mature, there's another bonus. It is very easy. It is a very easy market to succeed in. You have put yourself in a market that is expanding and not dying and will never die, okay? And the means of which are expanding dramatically. You have put yourself in a market that is very easy to commoditize based on the resources we have today, and you have put yourself in a market where you only need a very small percentage to make $1 million. Now, my voice is quite sore as I've been filming non-stop this course to provide value. So that is it for today's podcast. But I dropped some absolute fucking bangers for you. So I hope you return the favor by going down below, hitting subscribe if you haven't, liking and commenting, and something extra. I now have a referral link. Anyone who wants to start their OnlyFans account, go down and use my referral. It costs you absolutely nothing. All it does is give back to me, and in turn, I will continue to make these videos, and I will help you out. If you are going to launch an OnlyFans business and you are going to manage girls, okay, make sure that you get legal contracts written up, because you do not want to distribute sexual content and then it come back and sting you in a few years because you are charged for sexual misdemeanors or anything like that. It will destroy you completely. If you need help with that, I'm not offering legal advice in any way or financial advice, but reach out to me and I'll give you the templates that I use, okay? In return, use my referral link. I get 5% commission on every sale. You lose no money from that. That is paid directly from OnlyFans to myself. And I'll continue to make these bangers. And I thank you very much for joining in, listening today to the podcast. I wish you all a very safe and blessed week and weekend coming up to the weekend. And I will see you tomorrow. Paka.